traffic conditions. Kirk.
Yeah, and right now we're tracking our second major storm system to hit Southern California, but two storm impulses associated with this. One right now bringing some really heavy rain across the big bulk of LA County and the LA Basin. A second impulse expected to bring some lighter rain, so look for the rain to continue most of the day. There are showers and even a chance of thunderstorms associated with this storm system. A high of 62 expected along the coast. We've got gusty winds and a wind advisory. In addition to the rain, we're talking about flash flood warning. 62 downtown, 62 in the San Fernando Valley. Breezy conditions depending on where you are, but stronger wind gusts in our mountains, passes, and canyons. We'll see a high of 61 in the Inland Empire and 57 in the high desert. Now that is the latest on your forecast at 6 o'clock. Time now for a check on traffic. And to the latest now from the traffic center, another live look outside to Studio City we go. This is making your way into the Cahuenga Pass. This is the 170 and the 101 entering the Cahuenga Pass. Rain on the lens, you see the raindrops there and some wet roads as those traffic volumes continue to build on this Friday morning. Now to Santa Clarita we go. We have a SIG alert this morning, the 5 South at Calgrove Boulevard. Right now the number 3, 4, and 5 lanes are expected to be shut down until about 5:30 this morning because of a car that spun out and hit that concrete barrier, the K-rail. A tow truck unit has been requested. Much more on your morning commute coming up. For now, Megan and Annie Rose, back to you.
All right, Kirk, thank you. This latest round of heavy rain could make matters much worse for Wrightwood.
Yeah, it comes after the first round of rain triggered dangerous mudslides and debris, damaging homes and cars. KTLA's Omar Lewis live in Drive 5 trying to make his way out to Wrightwood. How's it looking out there, Omar?
Yeah, good morning. We can tell you that this is a difficult drive out here this morning. Right now, we are on Highway 138 trying to make our way onto Highway 2 right now. We just got through a roadblock in this area. Highway 138 is shut down in several areas. We are allowed to make our way through, but want to flip around the camera and show you what we're looking at out here. A lot of heavy fog on the roads, if you could see that here this morning. Again, we are on Highway 2 right now, making our way to Wrightwood, where the damage is widespread, as you mentioned. Want to show you that video here this morning as thousands of cubic yards of mud and rocks along with debris, they all poured down through this San Bernardino mountain community after nearly 10 inches of relentless rain came down on Christmas Eve into Christmas Day, pounding a already burned, scarred area. Streets turned into rivers of sludge, driveways disappeared. Firefighters from San Bernardino County and LA County say they are working side by side right now, assessing every block to make sure all residents were safe in that area. Only one injury has been reported at this point, and every other resident has now been accounted for, which is the good news. But however, the damage is extensive, and for many, it is heartbreaking to return back home today. Misty Chang evacuated Wrightwood before the storm started. When she returned on Thursday, she found her newly renovated home buried. Inside that home, several feet of sludge has now piled up so high she could touch the ceiling. Take a listen.
I immediately started crying because I put a lot of hard work and effort and money into it. It's just devastating. It's literally nightmare before Christmas.
Heavy machinery has been rolling through the streets of Wrightwood nonstop. Dozers carving trenches through thick mud to free vehicles and reopen narrow roadways. Crews are reinforcing weak slopes as another round of rain overnight add to the instability of those hillsides. This morning, officials say Fire Station 14 remains fully staffed and they are ready to respond, while neighbors pitch in with shovels, buckets, and sandbags to save what's left of their homes. This morning, Mount Baldy Road is also scarred with scattered boulders, a visible reminder of the storm's force. Some residents, like Davey Schneider, hiked through the mud to check on neighbors, describing the scene as a maze of destruction and generosity all at once as people in this community now try to salvage what they can.
Hiked here about 1.5 miles from my house in the rain, trenched through all of this stuff and got the cats out one at a time. Unfortunately, they all live. They're all okay, just a little bit scared.
Back out here live again, Highway 2 giving you a live look this morning of foggy conditions, rain still coming down in this area, which makes the recovery even more difficult at this hour as families try to make their way back to their homes. This is what they're returning to. Again, more rain still on the way. Sheriff's officials also confirming that they are distributing bottled water at the Community Service Distribution Center. That is on Highway 2. Gonna flip around the camera for you this morning and tell you as well that officials are telling people in this area to stay alert with the latest notifications. You can find all those details on the website prepare.sbcounty.gov. We are making our way there to Wrightwood. Should be there in about 15 minutes or so. We'll check back in with another update coming up later this morning. For now, we'll send it back to you in Hollywood.
All right, Omar, thank you so much. Glad you and your photographer are taking slow out there. All right, take a look at this eucalyptus tree that came down in Woodland Hills, blocking several lanes on the road. Now, this happened last night right around 9:30 on the 5200 block of Don Pio Drive. That's south of Ventura Boulevard. At last check, the tree still has not been removed.
And the storm impacting flights into and out of LAX. Here's a live look right now. This morning at the airport, you see the horseshoe pretty backed up. Flight tracking website FlightAware reports there are 85 delays at LAX so far today. 31 flights are canceled. It is expected to be a busy day at airports and the roadways today as people head home from their Christmas break. And you can be sure to check your flight status. We encourage you to do so before you do head to the airport this morning.
And stay with KTLA 5 for continuing coverage of this storm. Don't forget, you can monitor the weather conditions in your neighborhood with our hour-by-hour forecast and interactive radar. Just go to KTLA.com or scan the QR code that you see there on your screen. All right, let's get over to Kirk.
So some new information for you here at 6 o'clock. Those flash flood warnings and now have expired for a few parts of Southern California. Now we're following this one that impacts a portion of LA County, the LA Basin, the San Fernando Valley, and that's expected to remain in effect until noon. You can see still some heavy downpours working their way through different parts of Southern California as part of that first major impulse of the storm that we'll see today. A secondary impulse is coming this afternoon. We're already seeing the impacts of it in San Luis Obispo County, but much lighter rain associated with that system. Look for the rain to end by this evening. By noon, we'll see this wind advisory come to an end right around the same time that we see with that flash flood warning dropping. Still wind gusts registering these areas upwards of 20, 30, even 40 miles per hour. The danger of coastal flooding is very real possibility in these areas, highlighted as part of this high surf advisory. It continues until Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Dangerous rip currents are also possible here, so please, if you head to the coast to check out conditions, use plenty of caution. Here's that area. You can see it stretches from Malibu to areas of the San Fernando Valley, even incorporating portions of Hollywood, West Hollywood, the Hollywood Hills, Sherman Oaks, Studio City. You can see that flash flood warning continuing until noon today. Part of that is associated with this very slow-moving disturbance that's bringing brief periods of heavy downpours. And, of course, that's adding to the already rain-soaked hillsides that surround us. I've stepped out of the way here to give you a closer look at the flood watch that remains in effect for the bulk of Southern California until about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Of course, any of the rain that we get from this system is going to arrive in the form of runoff, adding to other difficult conditions associated with the storm. We fast forward the future forecast. This takes us till just before noon, and look for the rain to be really coming down in portions of the Inland Empire and Orange County. The snow levels expected to drop throughout the day today, closer to resort levels, so at least some positive news for our mountains that are still digging out from the storm system earlier this week. By Saturday, Sunday, we see things dry out. There's an area of high pressure that's expected to build with increasing areas of offshore flow, so we'll see Sunday and Monday a Santa Ana wind event, and then Tuesday through Wednesday, another storm system coming our way. A rain across the Southland for today, 50s and 60s across the LA Basin, heavy rain, and don't forget that chance of thunderstorms still very possible throughout throughout the day today. 50s and 60s. We should see plenty of sunshine as we get in the early part of the week. Finally, a break as we dry out. And then there's another chance of a storm system arriving on Wednesday and Thursday. That storm system expected to be not as intense as this Christmas week storm system. We're still looking at measurable precipitation, though, roughly about 1 to 2 inches, depending on where you are. Inland Empire, gusty winds continuing again today. Not only today, but then again Sunday and Monday. We'll look at that Santa Ana wind event certainly having an impact. Along the coast, 62 gusty winds. Expect gusty winds to be a part of your forecast on Sunday, too. A chance of thunderstorms, the chance of showers returning Wednesday and Thursday. Some really strong wind gusts in areas of the high desert. They've been dealing with it all this week. Unfortunately, it continues again. Isolated showers and thunderstorms continuing as part of your forecast. Temperatures really dipping down in the 50s. Those overnight lows just in the 20s and 30s. Look at the possibility of maybe a rain-snow mix when we get into Wednesday and Thursday. We'll see as that storm system continues to develop. Well, that is the latest at 6:10. Time now for a check on traffic.
Traffic brought to you by Hyundai.
All right, here's the latest from the traffic center now. As you can see, this is the 91 at Green River Road, one of our live cameras we like to show you. And it actually looks like the roadway here is relatively dry. So we'll watch as the storm system works its way through this part of Corona, one of the more dry spots at this time of the morning, according to producer Tommy. Now to Harupa Valley we go. This is the 60 East at the 15, a 3-car crash in the slow lane. Reports of some debris spread across the roadway from this crash, so allow plenty of time to work through this intersection. And out of Santa Clarita, the 5 South at Calgrove Boulevard, that SIGALert remains in effect for the 3 right lanes after a car hit the guardrail here. We are expecting an update from CHP within the next 20 minutes or so, but be prepared for some of those delays heading southbound on the 5 South near Calgrove. Well, that is the latest on your morning commute at 6:11. Megan and Annie Rose, back to you.
Well, thank you, Kirk Hawkins. Still ahead here. Here's a question. Did you like all the Christmas gifts you received?
Yeah, if your answer is no, you are not alone. We'll tell you what the